Welcome to day 20 of Daily Wisdom, a 31-day journey through the biblical book of Proverbs. I'm Russell Cushman, and I'll be your guide for today's teaching. Before we get started, don't forget to follow along with us in the 3 parts of the Daily Wisdom Challenge. 1, read all of chapter 20 today. 2, find a verse, a principle in here in this chapter that sticks out to you and meditate on it today. Write it down and keep it close. And then finally, don't take this journey alone. Share what you're learning with others, be it online, in person, with family, friends, at the dinner table. You got to share this stuff. As we've been working through Proverbs, several themes emerge in each chapter. In 20, it's no different. See, chapter 20 talks a lot about leadership, especially through the view of a king, wise counsel, and the value of insight and awareness. See, I recently celebrated a birthday, something that got me very introspective about my life. Am I where I expected to be this year? Am I the man I want to be? As I get older and lose a bit of vigor, even zeal, as I'm tempered and I'm on the wrong side of my mid-30s, what should I start valuing more than the strength of my back and how loud I can get? See, Solomon says, the glory of the young is their strength. The gray hair of experience is the splendor of the old. That's in verse 29. And as I age each and every year, and my beard gets a little more white, and I keep taking trips around the sun, I remember that eventually wisdom is what I need to pursue instead of clinging to the habits of younger men. I can't pull all-nighters like I used to, and I can't lift quite as much as I remember. But I understand how to manage my life that I don't have to. See, this verse also uplifts those older and wiser than us. It reminds us that we should seek out experience when the strength of our youth and our zeal fails. See, this honor and value given to the wise and experienced in verse 29 is part of Proverbs 20 we can't ignore. See, be it in the form of wise counsel or the insight of another into our situation and self. See, Proverbs 20 verse 18 says, plans succeed through good counsel. Don't go to war without wise advice. See, wise living isn't a solo sport. It takes a team. I have a friend of mine, his name's Lee. He says, I'm looking for a board of directors for my life. And I just want to tell you, this guy's an amazing father, great husband, a devoted follower of Christ, plays a mean guitar. He's actually a man I really look up to. But he's wise enough to understand that there are those who are further along than him, and they can guide him in a way that's better than what he could figure out on his own. See, he regularly meets with a group of guys in a small group. And as well, he has monthly lunches with this very successful mentor. He's also a mentor to me, who models Christ-like love alongside incredible business acumen. See, the mentors who pour into his life sharpen him as a professional, sharpen him as a husband, a father, and a follower of Christ. And the wisdom he gleans from these people eventually is shared with his friends and with his kids. See, wisdom travels, it passes along. If we get it, we tend to share it, moving it along. See, Proverbs 20 verse 7 says, the godly walk with integrity. Blessed are their children who follow them. What a gift to give to your children, to give to those who are coming behind us. See, wisdom is precious, and the counsel we can get from it is. See, it says, wise words are more valuable than much gold and many rubies, in verse 15. The treasure we can find in wisdom is ours to pursue and to share. And so often we think wisdom is something we have to wait for, when instead it can be found in our actions and given to those who will listen. But to me, one verse specifically stands out in the theme of wise advice and finding good advisors. It's Proverbs 20 verse 5. It uses very interesting phrasing in the couplet structure Pastor John taught us just last Sunday on day 16. The phrasing is because of the words used here. See, the Hebrew word rather, etzah, not Etsy, but etzah, employed here has multiple meanings that changes the proverb's impact. See, etzah means advice or counsel, specifically good advice or counsel, a purpose, or a plan. It means three very different things. And in all the Proverbs we've discussed today, I've been using the New Living Translation or the NLT. But for this verse, let's look at the NLT and other translations who read the Hebrew with slight variations on how they translate etzah. The NLT says, though good advice lies deep within the heart, a person with understanding will draw it out. Meanwhile, the New American Standard, my favorite translation, says, a plan in the heart of a person is like deep water, but a person of understanding draws it out. And then finally in the NIV, a very popular translation, the purposes of a person's heart are deep waters, but one who has insight draws them out. See, which one of these translations are right? They all say something a little different. Well, the thing is, all of them are correct. See, etzah means all those things. And Solomon used this word specifically, and in the opinion of so many scholars of Proverbs, intentionally. He knew it meant those things, and so authored the proverb to have multiple meanings and reference to this core concept. See, good advice is often hidden deep within our hearts. It isn't the thing we want to say. It's often a hard truth in a difficult situation. A person's plans, another translation of etzah, their deepest desires, their biggest goals are often hidden deep within, and in this case are the deep water. Not shallow, but beneath layers. It has to be drawn out what a person's true plan is. The purpose of a person's heart, what a deep idea there. Our purpose as God-given can be so hidden that we can go our whole lives without even seeing it. See, this proverb has multiple meanings, linking the idea of insight to what is hidden. In fact, when we look at that part of the verse, a person with understanding or one who has insight, we're looking at the word tabuna, which means understanding or insight, but it has a root that comes from a physical idea of in-between. And by that in-between, I mean relationships. See, someone with this kind of insight, this kind of intelligence, sees relationships between things that others do not see. So with all the Hebrew explored and the varying meanings of the proverb, we can come to this wisdom. To get the best counsel, the best advice, find people with the right perspective. Find people that can look past the obvious, past what we can see, to what we cannot see. See, don't settle for second best when it comes to good counsel. To make good on our ambitions, our plans, our God-given purpose, find people who can see the patterns in our lives, the relationship between what we love to do and what we're good at doing. Find people who pan for gold, as Pastor Dustin says a lot, in you. Find people who can find the best parts of you and support the deep dreams that have been placed within you. Dreams you might not even be willing to speak out loud. And finally, there's the sense of the proverb that reminds us how to be good advisors to others. Though good advice lies deep within the heart, a person with understanding will draw it out. Again, that's in the NLT. The Proverbs telling us who may have the honor and privilege to speak with another's life, to do so with insight, with kindness, and a commitment to draw from the deep well of the heart, theirs and ours. We've talked so much this month already about finding wisdom and living wise lives, but so many of you watching, you're in a position to pass wisdom along. Be the insightful person who helps a friend find the gold God has put in them. See, in a world where people often tear each other down, when talent's squashed and years are squandered, you can be the catalyst for someone living the full life that God has for them. So let's all commit to value the wisdom we can find in others and for others. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you tomorrow for day 21 of Daily Wisdom. Have a great one.
Thank you for joining us for Daily Wisdom. And don't forget to subscribe to Journey's YouTube channel and sign up for notifications for future messages. If what you heard today was helpful or encouraging, please share it with others. Join us again tomorrow for more Daily Wisdom.